Hey, it's Andrew and Steven from Elevated Entrepreneurs. And today we want to share with you our story of how we got to here. And it wasn't always like this.
Not at all.
Not
quite.
Not at all. I mean, I remember when I was first starting off to be an entrepreneur, I always kind of had it in my blood, I guess. I remember as a kid, I would just try to create these little businesses, and when I made money I was like, oh my god, I just created money. I could go buy candy or an Xbox game. And
yeah, you ever sell candy at school?
Yeah, 100%.
Every single entrepreneur I've ever met is I was selling candy when I was 9
and
to
there's prizes and stuff.
Just just the beginnings of an entrepreneur.
The thought processes. And then I went to college, and I remember I got this opportunity with the New York Times. Actually, it was hey, we're trying to get our newspaper to the younger generation. If you sell X amount, you'll make X amount in bonus. And I was like, oh my god, I'll find a way to do this.
You see the money and you see the opportunity as a young person, and you don't quite know the right vehicle, the best vehicle, but it's the beginnings of an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
that's what's so great about that.
Yeah, the mindset.
Yeah, the
game, it starts young. But I remember I was in college because I was told to go to college. It was okay, here's life's plan, Andrew, and everyone else. It's you go to middle school, and then you go to high school, and you hopefully get into a good high school, and then you can do really well in high school, and then you get into a good college, and then you get a good internship, and that will turn into a good job, and then you kind of just progress through life, and then one day you'll retire. You'll be married and have kids and be happy and kind of live this existence. And I never really questioned that, because I didn't know that you could even question that. My reality was like this. I didn't know that reality could be like this. So I really didn't even understand what else was out there. I remember one day in high school, my friend, he said to me, we were talking about what we wanted to do when we grow up, and it's so funny reflecting on this now.
Yeah, of course.
I was I just want to grow up and have a good job, make 6 figures a year, and have a wife and 2 kids and a nice car and a nice house in a nice area, and just live a happy life. And that's what I said. And he said, I want to be famous. I want my name up in lights, and I want people to know who I am all around the world. And I looked at him, I was like, bro, that's impossible. How is that possible? Because I didn't know what was possible.
Mm-hmm. It's when you start out, you have these big dreams potentially, but first, even before that, it's first you have to understand that someone else is doing it, or that someone else, thinks that it's even possible. I remember when I first started, besides selling candy as a kid, when I was 12 years old, I was figuring out ways to get free PSP online through doing surveys and doing different things like that. It was nuts, actually. When I was in middle school, I had made I think $400 or $600 online, gotten a free PSP, free iPod video through doing surveys and playing these different little games online. It was nuts. I was just, where there's a will, there's a way. Beyond all that, though, it's I started in network marketing and multi-level marketing, or MLM you might call it, and that's where I saw there was this guy who looked like me. He was my age pretty much, making $100,000 a month, and I was how is that even possible? That means that you don't have to get a job after you graduate. I don't need to go and do something I don't want to do. I don't need to wake up super early and slam an alarm clock in the morning and basically be I got to go to work, or
another day.
I don't have to have the Sunday scaries. That to me was I don't care what I have to do. It was through friends of friends, you get a network of people with 25,000 people on your team, and then you're making $100,000 a month, and it's cool, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, I don't care what it is, I'll find a way to do it. Little did I know that I was basically, going to do this for years and years, about 4 years, without having any success. I never had a true mentor. So I basically, at that point in time, never had a true mentor, and that was my biggest sticking point. And that's what kind of led me to high-ticket affiliate marketing, which I know kind of you also did network marketing as well in the past, right? Yeah. How long did you do that?
About... I'd say full time, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. So I started network marketing in college as well. We started with the same company. We didn't know each other at the time. Steve and I did not know each other up until later on in the journey. But we started in the same company, and network marketing is a great opportunity for the beginning entrepreneur because it helps you with your mindset.
Absolutely.
You know,
the school of hard knocks of entrepreneurship, I think.
It's the boot camp. But, you know, most of the time, like, it doesn't work out for most people. You realize that there's different vehicles and you're drawn to certain other vehicles just like we were. But, yeah, I started in network marketing, and that really opened my eyes to different ways of living. And I realized, like, okay, I want to expand my reality when I was a junior in college. And I was like, I really want to expand my reality. I'm doing engineering right now. I know at this point in my life, I'm just not going to be happy with this. Physics is like the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, I just don't want to do any more of this. I can't imagine doing this for the rest of my life. So I decided to take a semester abroad in Australia. And it was this big thing. It was this big thing because I basically got a scholarship to the school to go into their engineering program. And at this engineering program, it was very rigid. It was very strict. It was new. You weren't able to like change classes around. So me going to Australia for a semester, my junior year, basically was like, hey, look, you're going to have to stay an entire extra year at school.
So you're sacrificing like pretty much the whole entire journey that you had been on to do this.
Because I felt I was pulled so strongly to going to Australia for some reason. And I don't know why, but it was just this thought, like, you have to go, find a way. And
your intuition, man.
Yeah.
It's your gut speaking to you, your larger brain, you know?
Yeah. And I've learned to trust my feelings now and follow my gut now, but at the time it was scary. I remember my guidance counselor at college, who was like just an awesome lady who I really respected, really smart, and was helping me through the engineering program. She was like, Andrew, if you do this, like, you're basically throwing away what you've worked for. Like, this is going to mess everything up for you. You won't graduate on time. You won't be with your friends. Like, all of this is going to be ruined. And I was like, I'm sorry, I have to go. And I did it. And I went to Australia. Yeah. I mean, you follow your gut, right? But I went to Australia. And through my school, we paid a ridiculous amount of money for tuition at the school. And thankfully, as part of that, we were put up in a very nice building when we lived in Australia. So we were going to a university in Australia, but we lived in a very, very nice building. And in this building, there were millionaires and probably way richer than that in this building. I just didn't, know at the time. But there were very, very high level people. And one of these people I met, his name was Scott. And the way I kind of met Scott was crazy. In this building, there was 2 hot tubs. There was one on the main one on the 4th floor, and there was a sub one on like the 2nd floor. And me and my friends one night, the kids I was studying abroad with, were like, all right, let's go to the hot tub and chill out for a little while. And we went down to the 2nd floor, but it was broken. It was under maintenance. So we had to go back up to the 4th floor. And of course, that's where Scott and his friend are chilling, and we're like, all right, we don't really know these guys, but let's go in and chill. And that night, I had about a 2-hour long conversation with Scott that shifted my entire reality forever. He told me that he was an entrepreneur. He owned his own business. He basically lived in this building. He was very young. He was extremely happy, extremely healthy, just vibrant is how I would describe like his presence. And I'd never met anyone like that. And at the end of it, I said, so did you go to school for this? Like what did you study in college? He's like, oh, I dropped out of college. And my mind was just like,
everything you've been taught is like, don't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, then you see the person who seemingly has every single thing that you want, and then they tell you the opposite. It must have been like a big sort of like
shifted
feeling,
everything.
And that's like that was the big turning point, right?
Absolutely. So I started to see the world differently. My mind was just bent, and I was going to school, and I was like, why am I even here? Like, oh my God, like that dude just said he dropped out of school because he asked his business professor, have you ever run a business? And he said no. So it's like, why would I learn from someone who's never run a business? I was like, wow, that makes so much sense.
You don't think about it like that, You
definitely don't.
Until somebody really highlights it for you.
And someone you respect too, someone who clearly has what you want is giving you this advice. It's not just some like, someone who dropped out and is not doing anything with that time. But basically, long story short, I learned over the next few months from Scott. I was hanging out with him. He was happy to share his experiences with me, which is awesome for me because I was happy to learn. Yeah. And he's like, look, man, I'm scaling my business here. It's growing really, really quickly here. Clearly, you want a different life. Clearly, you want to learn these skills. If you stay and help me build this business, we'll build it together. I'll teach you everything I know.
An opportunity.
And I was like, yeah. And I was
big opportunity.
Wow, this is a bit interesting because I'm supposed to be flying back to the other side of the world in 2 weeks. And
you can feel the buzz. I can even just feel it right now off of you. The buzz that and what I mean by the buzz is like that fear mixed with excitement feeling.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Which is like, here's everything on a silver platter that you need and deserve. Mm-hmm. But everybody told me that I should not do this. Every person says that in my whole life until now is like, telling me what to do, and this is the opposite, but it's exactly what I want. Mm-hmm. And it was at this point in my life too that I started to realize, who am I listening to?
Yeah.
And do they have what I want? Not just like, do they say the things that I want to hear? Do they have what I want? Are they doing what I want to do? Who am I listening to? That's when I started having these big shifts.
Do they have results?
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, it was crazy. Like, I remember the 2 weeks was coming to an end, and I had to make the decision of whether I was going to stay in Australia or go back home to my normal life. Mm-hmm. And it was just like all my friends, because imagine I'm there with a group of 30 friends, like study abroad friends who I've been drinking with like nonstop for like 2 months, just partying and doing the study abroad thing. And they're like, yo, what are you talking about? You're going to stay here and drop out of school? Like, are you insane? Like, you're what are you talking about? That's crazy. You can't do that. Like, you're throwing your life away. Like, genuinely concerned for my well-being. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. I met this guy, and he's killing him. Like, no, Andrew, what are you talking about? But I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I have one life. We're spinning in a little rock that I can't even comprehend this universe. If that's possible, I'm sure something else is possible. And I decided to drop out. I failed my classes on purpose, my last classes. Wow. I wanted to burn the boat, so I'd have no other way. I was just going to make this happen. Failed. My professors were going crazy. It was like fire was just going off in every area of my life. My parents were freaking out. My younger brother, my friends, my college guidance counselor, everything was just on fire, and I was just sitting there with the buzz.
Yeah, and
this feeling,
extreme loss of social esteem from your peers and family. It's like,
definitely,
it's nuts. It's like when you get to that point in your life, I was, what year was this at this time?
I think this was, I was 19 turning 20.
3 years ago.
Yeah, around there.
So around 2016-ish, mm-hmm. Which is basically right around when I graduated. So I was finishing up school because I was going to be a doctor. I was pre-med track all the way through and actually graduated with a biology degree after taking pretty much every single class offered at Florida State because I was failing every single one. So like they had to keep giving me new ones to basically take so that way I could finally just get a C in one of these classes, fulfill the last requirement. My guidance counselor started just we became so close because she was literally helping me to just pulling strings to get me through, to get me graduated. Luckily I made friends, networked my way through the entire biology department to make friends with the head of biology, so that way not even just him, but also the professor who had I needed a C in the class. I had a 30% in the class. Getting 100 on the final would have given me an F. And I was like, look, I just need a C in this class. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And, I had to crush it. It was a major amount of stress that was on my back because I was trying to build a business this whole time too. Mm-hmm. I had never given up on trying to build a business. I had everybody in my face, my whole entire family being like, look, you need to graduate. You've already spent all this money on school. You need to go get a job, and it needs to happen fast. And it got to this point where everything kind of crumbled to the last second. Where I actually graduated, I walked, had my whole family come, my girlfriend at the time, her family, and nobody actually knew that I didn't know if I was actually graduating.
Wow.
I was just walking the show for everybody, and in my mind I'm like, I failed this class. If I get 100 on the final, I still failed. So I basically in my mind was like, wow, I have to tell everybody eventually, but I'm not going to break the news to them now. Ended up, I did graduate, did get the diploma. The professor had the sympathy to give me the C to pass the class after I tried so hard. But what I learned in that process is that I never gave up on the thing that was most important to me, which was actually fulfilling my dream. But it got to this point where I didn't have any more time. I now graduated. I needed to either get a job or make my business work. And luckily, that was when I finally, by the grace of God, found high ticket affiliate marketing, which was around 2016. Around mid 2016, around May, right after I graduated. And I found a mentor. His name is Adam, and he basically changed my life. He taught me digital marketing skills. He taught me basically how to go out there and really create money online. I was introduced to high ticket affiliate marketing, and I was able to create success with it pretty quickly because of the fact I finally had a mentor, because of the fact I've been doing this unsuccessfully in all these different ways with network marketing, putting myself out there, calling all my friends, family, trying to sell everybody everything, for literally years. That became my identity to my friend group. And my back was against the wall. I needed to make it work. And that's when I found high ticket affiliate marketing. And my first month I was able to luckily absolutely crush it, doing I think around $12,000 in profit. It was nuts. The difference, the way that my family reacted to me, my girlfriend at the time, my friends all started to see wow, this kid actually stuck with it. And that was at the point when this is actually how I started to meet Andrew. Was through this company.
Yeah, and it's crazy how we both linked at this same company and the same mentor, and just two completely different paths.
Yeah, it's just marketing the same product as high ticket affiliates.
Yeah, and I wanted to, the whole way I got into it was, I was doing this business in Australia, and I was learning for a year from this guy, Scott, and it was amazing. I learned the mindsets, how to look at the world, really the core principles of entrepreneurship and what it took to be an entrepreneur. And after that though, after a year though, I realized I'm starting to get the hang of this. I'm still totally broke and still it hurts a lot, but I can see how this can happen. But I want to be able to travel. I want to go and travel the world. I want to work from my laptop, because I started seeing these guys. I started getting ads on Facebook and YouTube from people who were hey, I make $10,000 a month and I travel the world. I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
The possibility someone else is doing it. Yet again, you see it. I don't care how, I'm going to make it work. Someone else is doing it. That means I can do it.
100%.
That's
so I started researching. I got on webinars. I got on calls with people. I was doing all these things, trying to figure it out. And basically, I invested into this program after going into circles for 6 months to a year, trying to figure out the online marketing thing.
Same.
Just watching webinar after webinar, buying these little courses, all these things. I bought a lot of courses, actually. And then what changed it all was when I finally got a quality program that step by step said, do this, this, this. And this was from our mentor and now friend, Adam. So we both got into this program and learned about high ticket affiliate marketing. In our first month, both of us, we blew up. Because all of that we were missing was someone to glue the pieces together and be yo, do this, 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 this. And we did it. Most people don't actually do it.
The action is the key, because we were been taking action for years. It had never been a problem for us to be taking action. We just didn't have the right vehicle to create the proper availability. In order to make 10 grand a month in the network marketing business I was in, I didn't even realize until my mentor, he became my mentor, Adam, he asked me, how many referrals or sales do you need to make in a month to make 10 grand? And I was like, I don't know. So I was how the hell am I supposed to make 10 grand a month? Versus then I learned at high ticket affiliate marketing, I could do it with 3 to 5 referrals. In network marketing would have been 100, 200, 300, 500 maybe.
A lot.
Or something ridiculous. So it's that was a big game changer.
Availability opened up.
Yeah.
And we both started crushing it, plain and simple. We're you know what? We know what we want, we do it. Your back was against the wall. My back was against the wall because I just invested in all these programs and I was in massive credit card debt. My back was against the wall. I was okay, this needs to happen now. So I just did it. And we both started winning. And it was really cool. For the longest time, I thought that everyone was winning because we all had access to the same information.
Everyone in the community that was learning.
There's 100 people in the thing. I was oh, everyone's crushing it. This is sick. Little did we know that we found out finally when there was an affiliate contest. And the owner of the program was doing an affiliate contest, said, hey, if you make this amount, I'll pay you $10,000 cash and come on a cruise with me from Miami to the Bahamas. And Steve and I were talking at the time. We started to link up at the time. We're just like talking over Facebook. We're like, yo, like, dude, let's fucking hit this. Let's hit this. And I remember I didn't almost make the contest on the last day, in the last, I think it was the last
few hours or something.
Like right before the deadline, I got a sale.
It wasn't even in my reality that he wasn't gonna make it.
He was like, bro, it's like you're
coming regardless. Like it doesn't matter. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. But we did it. That was crazy. That was really awesome.
The back against the wall thing, man.
It works. You don't want to be there, but it does work.
It's like the universe will push you there
if you don't do it.
It's like, look, I want this transformation. I want this transformation. I want to make 10 grand a month. I want to travel the world. But you don't have the availability to do it. So all of a sudden then your boyfriend or girlfriend breaks up with you, or your job fires you. And now you're like, wait, like, hold on. And these doors have opened unbeknownst to you that are sending you down this path of what you actually asked for, to travel the world making 10K a month, maybe, whatever it is. And like your back is pushed against the wall first though, because it needs to be in order for you to do that different thing that gives you the different result, which is what happened to me and what happened to you.
Yep, and it just kind of shifts you.
Yeah.
And
so we both made it on the cruise.
We both made it on the cruise.
And that's how we officially.
And that's when I knew Steven was such a homie, because he was just like, bro, like there's no way that we're doing this together.
Yeah.
And basically we met on the cruise. We shared the same room. And it was cool. We got to meet up in person, talk more, have a few beers, cruise around this cruise ship, and just like
film epic content. Remember?
Yeah,
we filmed content like it was our first time really getting out and being able to film content like in a really nice place,
on our
living
GoPros.
living the laptop lifestyle and like making money while we're on the cruise. And
it was
like,
crazy.
It was totally. I remember this guy literally had like at the time you were just crushing it so much. You had like 2 full-time sales guys or 3 or something, right? Taking like he had like 100 calls on his schedule for the next 3 days. And he's like, dude, I have a full-time sales team running all my calls right now. And I was like, what? And he's like, while I'm on the cruise right now. And we had like the unlimited drink thing. So we were having a good time, networking, meeting people, and like, man, what a time. Crazy memories,
great. Yeah.
That was the catapult. Really,
it was.
We saw how possible it was. Seeing your mentor in person, also linking up with other people doing the same thing, surrounding yourself in a group of people who are all winning, doing that same thing. It makes it so real.
Yeah, it does. And then it's just like from there, life's kind of went like this.
We teamed up.
We teamed up.
Like, yo, I'll help you with your calls. You help me with my calls. We'll crush this. We'll work together. We'll make double the amount of money. And we could travel the world. Yeah, and we did. Yes, we did that for like a year? Like
a lot.
We weren't together the entire time, right? Like I went to back to Florida. I think you went to Austria or Europe or something,
I started
right?
traveling at that point.
Yeah, so you started traveling, then you went to Medellin.
Yeah.
And then that's where I linked up with you in Medellin, and then we started traveling together. That was like, so probably like 6 months of working together, solely remotely, and then we linked up. We were crushing it, and then we started traveling together full time. And then we did that for another, however long, I think. Or started in Hawaii, actually.
We went to Hawaii because basically what happened was we started crushing it in this game. And it was just our intention to keep going on as affiliates and just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And eventually we started getting like I started posting pictures of me traveling, and I was getting like a lot of people reaching out, like tons of people reaching out, like, yo, what are you doing?
Because you weren't doing any, like, you were just living.
I was just sharing my life.
And just literally, it was amazing to see. Like, you were literally just doing all of the cool things and, like, actually living that lifestyle. Which is so sick. And so what happened then? Like, it attracted like
people started reaching out and like, yo, like, how are you doing this? Like, they started reaching out to both of us because in this community that we were in, we were kind of like, I guess you'd call it the leaders.
Yeah,
like,
we were the top affiliates.
Yeah, we were just like, people were asking us like, hey, like, how are you doing so well? I was like, what do you mean how are we doing so well? You have the same information. But we started like helping people and putting on free training videos. We did little YouTube
weekly
webinars.
We would do live weekly webinars. We had people attending them, and we were like, oh, this is so cool, because people like were really like, we had like 20, 30 people like show up on a random day, random time, like not even really blasting
talking about internet marketing, which no one like there's other people who do this.
Like the most potato cameras that we could have ever used, just like so my like old MacBook camera.
But you probably can even find those on YouTube somewhere. But we started doing that, and eventually people are like, look, like, can you just help us step by step? Just give us like step by step how to build this business that you've built. And then we're like, maybe we should just build our own product teaching people how to do high ticket affiliate marketing. So we had this plan to... we
were prompted, basically.
It was just like, it wasn't like, that wasn't ever the seed thought. The seed thought was, how can we help people? Like, because we're just getting people like, yo, how are you doing this? And we're like, okay, here's how you do it. Over Messenger, over like Instagram, over YouTube,
we were trying to help people, but
Facebook group.
Effective,
it just wasn't an effective use of our time. People weren't getting the most quality help because we were living. And then people were like, hey, like, we'll pay you to like teach us how to do this. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Giant hole in the market, basically.
Definitely.
And we went to Hawaii. We're like, bro, look, let's go to Hawaii. Let's link up there. That's when we officially first like linked up after the cruise, was Hawaii. After working together pretty much remotely for however many months, just crushing it. We went to Hawaii and we're like, look, let's film an entire program. Like, people out there want this. We could start selling it immediately and really, start having people really gain these benefits and learn. That was always the goal, is to really just spread this wisdom and be able to give, teach people in a way that they can actually learn it. Exactly. So we had to build some sort of, sequential designed program, which is what we did. We flew to Hawaii and, we spent like a month, 2 months, just built the entire program. And then, started selling it. We sold like $100K in cash over 90 days, less than that. And we didn't spend any money on marketing. That's how much the market needed it. Simply people reaching out to us. Like we said, hundreds of people literally reaching out to us. So it wasn't hard to fill up, I think it was like 30 or 40 students or something, to make that initial cash flow. And also then, start getting people to really learn this information, start creating some success stories with people and changing those lives. And since then, right? I mean, we've just been running it,
Yeah, that was the affiliate accelerator. We called it the affiliate accelerator because we wanted, it was like, okay, this is like this is the fast lane for affiliate marketing. Yeah.
High ticket affiliates.
And so we filmed it all in Hawaii with our friend Brett. Our friend Brett actually, how crazy is this? So we met Brett through a program that we were affiliates for. Brett bought through my link. So basically he was someone who like came into the program through my link. And we started talking, we became good friends, and Brett was like, look, I'm going to quit my job and I want to come out to Hawaii with you guys and basically help you build this. So Brett quit his job and flew out to Hawaii and helped us with the initial program, and we still work together today, which is awesome.
And in the airport, Brett literally, after he just quit his job, they just threw a party for him. He's flying a red eye to Hawaii after they just threw a party for him at his job. Like, Brett, are you sure you want to do all this? You want to leave? And he literally like closed like an $8,000 sale in the airport or something like that as an affiliate. And like his life was then changed forever from that point. So then we're all linked up, we're all hyped, we're on this crazy roller coaster of just emotional growth. And it all happened very quickly. We were really able to then impact a lot of people.
Yeah, it was cool. We got the information out, people were loving it, which we're stoked about because we really wanted to build this. A big thing for both of us. And at the heart of our company is integrity. We just want to do it the right way. Because I would, personally, I just would not feel good doing it any other way. I just want to be able to live with myself. I don't know how people do that. So we always try to provide the best product and service to our community. And 100%. Every day we're just getting better and better. And the feedback that we've got from our client family is just amazing. And every day we're just growing. We're trying to give more, grow more, build more, find problems in the world that we can solve.
Absolutely.
Woke.
It's about the purpose.
Yeah.
It's about the purpose that you have as an individual. That's my core purpose, is to help others to find their purpose. And it's also, it's something we share too. It's like, helping people find their purpose. That doesn't just happen. It doesn't happen by a Google search. It doesn't happen by asking Siri. Okay? It happens by going out there and first getting a certain degree of freedom for yourself, which through a business model like high ticket affiliate marketing is so possible. And that's why we're really so passionate about spreading that skill set because it's something that not only is exponentially growing as an industry over the next 3 years. This will be an absolute powerhouse of an industry of people doing this high ticket affiliate marketing because of the business model the way that it is, that allows for so much freedom. But you gain a certain level of freedom in your life. We talk about 3 pillars of freedom: time, location, financial freedom. And if you could gain those 3 pillars, finding your purpose becomes so much easier, because you're no longer crowded by and clouded by the day-to-day monotony of work, coworkers, the same people around you, the same patterns, the same things going on.
Stuck.
Exactly, the same television shows keeping you on this loop, living the same loop day to day to day to day to day. You break out of that. You could start traveling. You can do whatever it is that you want, like whatever you're passionate about. And what you would do if you weren't getting paid, you could do that for fun because you're making money from a business that doesn't take all your time, that allows you to work less, not work to work more. So by doing that, you're gaining access to your purpose. And by finding your freedom, gaining access to your purpose, you can then contribute to the world in the most powerful way that you possibly could. And that's what this is all about for us, making our product so good that any person that comes to our community, they want to pay us twice, they want to pay us double for the same material, because it's that good, that much attention to detail, that much energy and passion that goes into it.
And love. Not to sound corny,
of course,
but love.
Seriously, TLC that goes into, really creating something and translating that information to someone else to really change their life.
Yeah.
So it's been a hell of a journey.
It has. And it's, this is what fulfills us on a day-to-day basis, because I've found that when you feel like very lucky to have experienced this at a young age, experiencing like things like having a cool car and traveling the world and meeting like really cool people and doing so many experiences where I feel like I've lived like 10 lives in one already. I realize that doesn't make you happy. And I've learned from my mentors who are extremely wealthy at this point. I rode around in an R8, like an Audi R8, like a supercar for like 2 months in Australia, just every day, like at 20 years old. And I saw how it was a car. After 2 months, it was a car. It wasn't anything to be put on a pedestal. It wasn't anything to live your life for, Now we've realized that there are deeper layers, and it's okay now, instead of how can I make 10K and travel the world and get a cool car, it's how can we give back to the world? How can we fulfill our mission here on earth? How can we impact other people so that they can fulfill their mission? Because imagine the ripple effect of that. Like, if we're going out and able to help all these people and they're, breaking free, and then their minds are open, they're able to impact the world in their way, like, and then they can go impact other people. That is just how we can make the most positive change possible.
Yeah, we're only one person each,
Yeah.
You don't make an impact by just being you and doing your thing and making your ripple. You make an impact by helping others to make their ripple. And you could do that in an exponential way. And there's massive, massive power in that.
Yeah. And that's basically our story.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a hell of a journey, and continue to follow us on this journey and to watch us change this planet and actually make that impact where people are truthfully able to gain freedom through a business model that you're not stuck. You're not in a place where it's like you can't escape from it, which is most online businesses. They cause you to work more. When you put more work into it, it's more work to do. With this business model, it's not. It allows people to really be free. And that is why we're here, to help people break free and find their purpose and truthfully impact the world. So being able to travel the world, being able to do all that stuff, like Andrew said, it is so important to understand that it's not the external things that you will receive on this journey. Yes, you can make the money. Yes, you can get the better looking girl or guy, or whatever, the better car, the better house, the better thing. You can get all of those things, and you can get an excess, and you still will then realize ultimately that it's not what you get, it's not the things that you acquire, but it's the actual understanding of within, the internal, the actual things that you're cultivating inside of you, your own mindset. That's the power.
So you're becoming.
It's exactly. It's not the external things that feed you. It's the things that are fed through you that allow you to really have that fulfillment in life, regardless of where you are. So really take that message, take it to heart. Understand whatever dream and journey that you're on right now, whatever part of your journey you're on, just embrace it. Understand you can always get better. The answers are out there, and just never quit. Never ever give up. If you do, you're never going to win. But if you never quit, I promise you, you will get to that point. You just have to have that tenacity and that mindset to know that it's possible and that you'll be able to do it.
Absolutely. And one day you'll have your own story to share with someone to inspire them.
Absolutely. Every hardship you're going through,
it's part of your movie.
Exactly. So
dope. We have a
go out
story,
there.
Man.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. We really do. It's amazing. And I hope that inspired you. And I hope too, if you have a comment or question, post it below this video or wherever. And I'd love to answer you back in the comments or however. Just keep at it, like I said, and hopefully this video could be that extra push maybe for you to really get out there, not quit on your dreams, and really understand that you can go out there and impact the world in your own unique way.
Go get it.